Brendan, I must admit I'm pretty foreign to the sport, and most people may assume the faster the dogs are, the more likely they are to win, right? Well, the mushers play a big role in that. So what makes one musher better than the other? We spent the day finding out. You all know the saying, dogs are a man's best friend, and it couldn't be more true in sled dog racing.
She's like my best friend, she's my baby, and you know, she sleeps in my room and stuff.
The K9s may be putting in the most legwork, but it's the relationship between the musher and its team that separates the good from the best.
Time with your dogs, more rapport.
I think it's a big deal to have a good connection with your dogs and that you really understand them and you're able to work as a team.
It's that bond between the musher and the dog and how that all how that all comes together.
It's the hours, the wee hours in the morning spending with a dog who's just not feeling well to make sure he's okay, nursing the puppies back to health if they're not doing well. But yeah, it's a lot of small details.
You want to make sure they have a good nutrition, the right amount of protein and all that, and making sure they have enough miles on them, and so that you can't just put them in a race that they're like, oh, we're not prepared.
The dogs aren't the only ones that have to be well trained and in shape. It helps if the musher can pull their own weight.
They're like, you just stand there, don't you? And I'm like, oh no, you have no idea. Because you have to run and kick and help all the time. And I've been training physically for this race for 4 months.
You know, I'm not the youngest musher in this event, so I suspect I'm on the lower end of the athletic potential. But I've worked out hard, and I'll be running as fast and hard as I can up the hills alongside the young 20-year-old guys, you know, that clearly will have an advantage. I'm 54.
And this sport is like any other. Whoever has the best strategy will be sliding through the finish line first.
All right.
We can run up to 12 dogs on a given stage, and how you play that, you have to really watch your dogs, make sure that they're well suited for the stage. Maybe you have a dog that's better on a less mountainous stage than another.
So you're always resting a certain amount of dogs, so that's going to be a big part of the strategic game. Fortunately, we got enough depth in our kennel that I'll be putting 4 new dogs that'll be running in the front of the team. They're called the leaders. So then my leading dogs, the ones who set the pace, will always be fresh. They'll only run 1 day in a row. So when we won this race in 2004, that was our strategy, and I think we're going to use that same game plan.
Next up, the mushers will make their way to Lander for the second stop of the sled dog race. And News 13's Lindsay Adams will be there to bring you all the coverage on Sunday, so stay tuned. That's going to do it for me here in Jackson. Brendan, back to you in the studio.